Welcome to the Wexford Football League show. Tonight we're joined from clubs across the county to highlight the Wexford Football Youth League. Well, Nicky, you looking forward to this tonight? You have a good crowd in here with us?
Yeah, good bunch of lads in this evening. So representing
very quiet at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see how they go now shortly. But no, look, it's great to have the lads in. We haven't really touched on them at all yet this year. So look at they play a vital part in trying to get these guys through to men's football. So yeah, it's good that they're in.
Yeah, like Youth League, I was over to mine youth for many years. I think youth soccer is vital to each club. I think if you want to have a strong youth set up, you're going over as a club in the future. And I think for the league itself, we need a strong youth league. And I might go straight to Donald, just to ask Donald from Bridge Rovers, the League of Ireland set up now with all the academies. Has that affected the youth league by taking players out of it? Do you think, or do you think it's a good benefit? Or
nice easy one to start with.
Not really, because probably a lot of lads would have been involved from a younger age. You know, I mean, it's the underage really, the youths really sort of. You know, I mean, the lads have come back, probably didn't enjoy it, didn't work for them or whatever, travelling and stuff like that. But no, I wouldn't say too much of the fact that if it was 14s, 15s, 16s, I'd say yeah, it would. But youths, no, not really.
I suppose it can affect some teams. Maybe Adam North End of see it, maybe the Gorey Rangers boys. It can hurt some teams. Maybe you could get 3 or 4 taken from you. Maybe.
Yeah, we would have been the same, I suppose, as lads from Bridge Rovers. We would have been affected maybe when Wexford FC started their academies. You might have lost, say, clubs might have lost 3 or 4 or 5 at a time. We sort of are at the stage at the moment where we're trying to maybe get a few back. You know what I mean? Straighten up the squads. Lads maybe trying to come back maybe mid-season for a few weeks, trying to stay fit. But wouldn't have affected us maybe at a youths level, but definitely we've seen it at, say, 15s, 16s, even 14s. Even now you see it there. But it's good to see at the same time. You don't want to stop lads from progressing. You want lads playing at the best age group, and especially from a coach or a manager's point of view, you'd be sort of saying to yourself, well, look, I coached that young fella there. You see, even from a North End point of view, you see young Caleb Harnett there going on to represent this country. And being across the water, sort of at clubs looking at him, it's great to see that you say, well, he was involved in a setup that you were coaching on. So you put work into the young lads and hope that they get to that point.
Yes, well, I wasn't saying kind of as a negative point. I was kind of saying, has it affected maybe the quality in the league? The good players mostly gone out of it, like.
Yeah, you could say the best players are gone out, but then it gives an opportunity, I suppose, for lads maybe who could, if all those players were still in Wexford, there'd be certain lads maybe wouldn't be getting games. So it's giving other lads a chance to flourish, I suppose, and maybe it gives that chance to step. You know what, we're missing a few players. It's time for me to stand up.
Yeah, I know the youth is one of my favourite age groups to coach. Nicky, I think they're at that age where they can take things in a little bit more, and you can have a bit more crack with them on the training field and all. And they probably don't take it as serious when you say something as some of the men do, in fairness.
Yeah, well, I suppose I dipped my finger into it one year. Maybe I just got a bad bunch of lads. But no, look, in fairness, I know you were there for a number of years with the mine, and my father always said to me, go back into underage, into that. And I know when youth is classed as men's football, they're still under 18. They'd soak up a hell of a lot more information than the older guys. We're also very lucky within the league that we have Pádraig Wihey. He's all about the youths under 19s. It was his idea to make sure to bring in the 19s league. And he's the one who's definitely going to push us. So we're quite lucky to have somebody like him within the league that is so interested in youth football.
Yeah, look, we thank our sponsors, Greentech HQ, for sponsoring the league. Anyone else want to come in on that there or anything? Gorey Rangers boys, you would be losing a few players at Bray as well, just up the road.
We've lost a few. We might get a few back, who knows, but Gorey's a big place, so we have enough players in and around. We have 2 teams, so we're not too worried. If lads come back, it'll be great, but if not, we still have a strong squad. We still have nearly 20 lads coming up training every Wednesday, so it'll be fine.
It's good. As a club, you're flying up there, aren't you? You have 2 youth teams as well, do you?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
3 men, 2 youths.
Yeah.
Gorey Celtic lads there as well. You have 2 youths as well, do you?
Yeah, no, we have 2 youths. We're getting on well. The second team in the youths at top of their league, we're fighting in the top division. And so just in general, and most of the underage teams now in the club, we've got 2 teams for every age group, which is a big step up from a couple of years when we would be struggling to maybe fill 1 team in each age. So you can just see, like, the Galway is a massive place, and obviously players can flip between Celtic and Rangers every couple of years. That's just always going to be the case. But it's just nice to see now that there is a big group of lads wanting to play, so it isn't just the same 11, 12 lads every year. Some getting 20, 30 lads up to training. We'd have about 18 for our first team of training, and the B team would have anywhere from 15 to 20 as well. So like you're getting 30 over 30 lads up every Tuesday and Thursday. So it's good numbers, good interest in it. That's the main thing.
In fairness, the boys made a mistake now. You should never have put Corey Celtic beside Corey Rangers. So,
Oh, well. So look, we'll have a look at the Premier. I think we're speaking to some of the clubs. I think Robbie is here from Curraclaw as well. Or the Mike. How are you, Rob? How are things down in Curraclaw? It's great to see us back in the Youth Premier.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a challenge, bit of a step up from last year that we had with the boys with the Division 1, but so far I think they're relishing the challenge, which is a good sign. I think they're learning that the small little details that they might have got away with before are being punished, and look, we've had a good setup there now for the last 2 years where we've been lucky enough to be able to field two youth teams, so it's always a good sign, and it's great to hear the likes of Gorey and other teams as well, North End as well, have got 2 youth teams, so it's positive that people at that age group are still involved and getting very much there.
Yeah, and again, we just have a look at there. I suppose the team on top are standing out for a couple of reasons. One, the 4 wins out of 4, but if you look at the list of all the clubs on them, they're all big clubs across the county. It's fair going for Castledocker. Team I did tip at the start, but
no, you tipped into in Division 5, not the youths.
And the youths.
I look at it.
Good Marshall, man.
Yeah, I look at the small little area, Castledocker up there, but like it's fabulous to see such a small club at the top of the Premier. In the youths, like as you said, Corey Rangers, North End, Curraclaw, Wexford Albion, Corey Celtic, like all massive clubs throughout the years, and massive amount of players. So yeah, to see Castledocker there on top, it's a great achievement. And when you
big game at the weekend, Adam. Again, this game you have to win.
Yeah, it's a big game. It was meant to be on 2 weeks ago, and the frost killed it off that day. But we'll be heading up to Kilteely, thankfully, with a full fit squad so far. We've training ourselves tonight, so hopefully Denny Carty's actually taking the session there from the first team tonight for us. So hopefully it'll be no reported injuries after that. But big game. We played them in the start of the season, actually in the first round of the Leinster Cup at home. We beat them 1-0 in a very tight affair that day. So you can see they've some great players. Young Ivers up front is
just
great.
going to ask you for him, and nothing I'm going to tell us here now. We'll ask you anyway. You got a plan for him, son? 9 goals out of 4 games in the Youth Premier is fair going.
Well, look, we had myself and Willie and Dermy had a plan the first day, and thankfully it did work. We were lucky enough to keep him quiet enough that day. Whether the same plan will happen this week, but look, we started looking at the table. Look, they're 5 points clear as us at the moment. We have to play them twice, so we're realistically, I know it's very early in the season, but games like this are sort of must win. And we had a chat with our lads. We started to look, it's the business end of the season after Christmas, and every game becomes a cup final, really, like, especially in a very tight league.
And the Gorey boys, what result you was looking for in that one?
Those draws everywhere. Whole year round be nice for us now, but yeah, we played Castledocker and up in Ramstown about us 3-1. They took their chances, we didn't. Just the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, as I said there to Nicky, they wouldn't have the name say the rest of the clubs have. Are you shocked by him, or you just knew they were going to be this good?
Well, they won the cup last year and they walked through their league, so we're kind of expecting it. They've really good players.
Yeah, in fairness,
Corey Green made a mistake last year. Now, in fairness, putting them down Division 2, but they walked it. But
and in fairness, a lot of lads would have been won the minor football with Duffrey, so they have the pedigree as sportsmen. In fairness, though.
And in fairness, I don't think they've lost many players from that squad from last year.
no, they were quite young.
I thought when they won the league and the cup, I thought that was their year, you know.
No.
Because I thought we were all on the age and we're all gone this year, but they're a proper team. They play really good football, you know, football the whole time.
Yeah.
They outplayed us, Adam, didn't they?
And they've a couple of
We were lucky to beat them now. We got a late goal that day, yeah.
Mick Quigley, Melo, and
Good lads over
the good lads over him.
they're a
Like
good
the lads
team,
to be strong over him as well.
They're a
So
proper team, lads. Proper
And,
team.
the other
It'll be hard to
fixture-
beat.
The other fiction that Robbie used of Rosstown on the bottom of the table. You see yourself in a title race, or?
Look, I suppose it's key that we just get our results as we gain. Hopefully we get 3 points. Like, everyone's probably looking at New Ross in the bottom of the table, but like at the start of the season, I'm sure most of the country clubs know exactly where we stand with, like, that you're caught with the lads coming back from GA, like, so people might look and say, geez, they're an easy whip, but they're not. Like, we know exactly they're going to be a tough team. It's like anyone in this division can beat anybody. Like, we bet North End, you know, they could have easily went either way. Adam will tell you on the day, like, you know, against Castledocker, we were unlucky, just a few mistakes caught us out. So there's very little between the teams when they're toe to toe on the day. Like, so I don't think anybody is a whipping boy or a whipping team in this, like, so.
And you have a player there with 3
Yeah,
goals, which is not
Reen,
bad
yeah.
going.
Yeah, well, we were only chatting about that, Reen and myself here. Yeah, we've seen that Liam was top at in the top 5 goal scorers there, but actually 2 of them were penalties, so I don't know how much he'll like me saying that. But yeah, but he's actually scored one, which was a header in the last game, actually against Corey Celtic against Robbie's team. Yeah, but he's funny. Yeah, but
And then we've Corey Celtic again, Wexford. I mean, how you was feeling for that one, man?
Yeah, no, it'll be a tough game. I've seen them play twice now. I've seen them play against Rangers in was it Leinster, the FAI, and then we've seen them play in the league, and both times they're very tough, tight, fair games, and there wasn't much between the two of them. I know a couple of the lads down the years from playing, coaching them in county and playing against them, so they do have a couple of standout players, but realistically all we can focus on is who we have, and we're just focused on getting all the lads gelling together and playing like when we want to play football. There's not many teams who are able to play as well as us, but the issue at this moment is it's too here and there. Like, it's not consistent enough, and that's what we're just trying to get through to the lads to train. You know, just that consistency, and you know, once it clicks, we feel like we still have a good chance to go far in the cup, in the Wexford Cup, doing something in the league. It's just about wanting to get a click rather sooner than later.
I always found in the youth premier, no matter if you were going well in it, even the team on the bottom of the table, there's anyone can beat anyone in the youth premier. Depends who turns up on the Saturdays as well. It's when I ask you, the clubs that are here from the Premier, if you feel Castlerock will do get the win on Saturday, he could say league over.
What did you expect him to say? Yep.
Yeah.
Hand out the medals.
Corey Rangers want to come in there.
No, it's not over until they lift the cup, so
You was up to play them once.
we have to play them one more time, yeah.
This is your first league game again. If they win this game, it's league over. Trust me.
Sure, look at it. I just actually throw it out to the youth, to the players themselves. Any is can answer it. But I always, like, as we just spoke there a second ago about the games are so nip and tuck between like a top to the bottom there at any time of the season. Does that, the consistency in it, you know, like where do you wake up on a Saturday morning and just not feel it, or what's the story with it? So,
What do you insinuate?
What was the question like?
so well, how do you prepare for every game? Because I know with the men, say, when I was over Shamrock Rovers, we'd make sure that the lads were prepared on time, things like that. How do you prepare? Would you have the same routine every weekend? This is what you to play.
Last year was a bit unorganised, but this year's got a bit better. Like, it's
So manager chat.
nah, but it's a bit stricter now. Like, to be on time now, but it shows. But we were bad last year, like, and we're getting better this year. So it shows that being on time and all makes better. Have been organised.
A little bit of structure.
Yeah,
So that's what every youth manager needs to have, is a bit of structure. Is that what you're saying?
bit control. Yeah.
And the youth cup draws on the other night, have that to look forward to in the new year. Any interesting draws thrown up on that? Is all happy with it?
You happy with your draw in the youth cup?
What's our draw? Yeah, we got New Ross or Albion B team, and say we do good in that. Like, I hope we win, you know, because we're just eliminated there out of the Leinster Cup. We're heading for the Wexford Cup, hopefully, you know. We haven't won any major trophies in a while now. We're, you know, promoted to Youth's Premier, just out of, we didn't like win it or anything. We just like promoted, you know. But
Just moved you up.
yeah.
The youth cup is a great trophy. Gory Rangers, let's use one. So the 4-4 draw at the weekend with Thomastown, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was on Friday night, yeah.
Friday night, yeah.
That was a mad game. We 2-0 down at half time. They came out the second half. They got a red card. We brought it back to 3-2 to us. They equalised. They got another one. Then last kick of the game, our keeper equalised.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Your keeper.
Yeah. Yeah. Keane Wilson, yeah.
And he's betting on penalties then.
Yeah.
So what round is in now? Is that the
I
last
think
16,
it's
is it?
quarterfinals.
Quarterfinal.
Now. The draw's on tonight, actually. I don't know if it's going on right now, but
Is there only Wexford left on edges? No? Wasn't it?
there's still to play.
Sorry, Adam.
We actually we used to play. The guys played Mullingar on the weekend, so we were waiting for the fixture of that to be played. So think where it's Pádraig was saying probably the second set of fixtures after Christmas. So, but the winner of that then obviously progressed to the quarter final. So hopefully the two extra teams, if we do progress past Mullingar, can stay apart in it. Like, and two extra teams go further in it. It's great to see. It's a great competition. You know, there's some top sides there left in it. Like, so I think no matter who you get at that stage, but same as the Wexford Cup, there's no, even though like you can look at, you've seen it last year in the Wexford Cup, there was teams from the youth Division 4 beating teams that were in the Premier in the first division. In Cup football is just a little bit different. But you just mentioned that time about the lads preparing and stuff. Jeremy Byrne, and you can quote him on this, he wishes every time we played it, we could play at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because he said he gets a different team completely at 2 o'clock in the afternoon than he does at 11. He said
listen up, none of you agree to play in our game.
but you would see if you drag, I suppose, a 17 or an 18-year-old out of the bed at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock for an away day, you know what I mean, for heading to Gorey, and then you maybe have a young lad there who has more time just to prepare, I suppose, in different ways.
Wake up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just, I suppose, wake up and...
School is so hard.
Yeah, tough life.
They haven't fallen out with their girlfriends or anything.
It's the wives you want to be worried about. Never mind the girlfriends. They're easy to replace.
And we'll have a look at Division 1, then we'll go straight to Donal. You have the League 1 Donal, 5 games, 5. Shamrock Boys thrown in that
It was over a few weeks ago, yeah. No such thing. It's a lot of close games. I can tell you, we've scored many goals that we scored in the 90th plus minute. We've more than 2. We scored 2 in one game. We were 2-0 down in fairness to Core Grounders, and they're down the bottom. But I can tell you, the boys have them in the cup, I think, Avies. Yeah, and they were a tough side that day. Anyway, we were 2-0 down against them with 10 men, and we came back and got 2 goals in injury time. So it was. There's no easy games. The boys are looking eagerly at me over there, waiting to get a smack at us, I think. We had hoped to play them before Christmas, but it's not going to be. We're not going to play them down before this side of Christmas. We'd like to try and keep the run going, But
I'm sure ball clubs would.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the boys just won't play games. They just seem to keep getting their games called off. They're afraid of All Blacks, I think.
Helps when you have a club and a county board,
No, I'm not a member of Shamrock Rovers anymore.
But I think this is third time. Third time he's going to play All Blacks. Yeah, so hopefully he'll get on this time, because All Blacks will be no pushovers either. I'm telling you, there's that league is going to bounce around when everyone catch up in games. We've just got all our games done.
Yeah.
We've done nearly the first. We're actually playing Kilmore at the weekend now, so it's the second time now. Kilmore, we gave them a good beating at the first game of the season, but they were very short. In fairness, they had the beer 11 that day. But this, they gave Ross Lair a good thumping 2 weeks ago, so they're going to be on a high now, and we haven't played in a couple of weeks. So the lads, and again, back to what Adam was saying there about how to prepare this year. Like we said, we were going to make a crack at it. And the first thing I said, we're to be there an hour before kickoff. And if you're not there an hour before kickoff, you ain't on the starting 11. So it's up to yourselves. If you want to be in the starting 11, the first thing you do is be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it might be sleepy, but by 11, by the time it kicks off, you're awake, because you know what I mean. So
you have the top scorer in that Division 2, 10 goals, fair going.
Yeah, he's a good lad, in fairness. He used to be our left back, believe it or not. It's like we were saying, you learn, like I've had these boys since they were under 9s or 10s, so
it took you that long to put him coat on.
Yeah, it took me a few years to get him, but we found a goal scorer in him. But
no, he's come by, in fairness, aren't they? Like,
yeah, look, the good thing about it,
impossible to come by.
Well, he's consistent. You know what I mean? He didn't get 5 in one game or 6 in one game. He's been. I think he's nearly scored in almost every game. Did he? You know, so he's thereabouts the whole time, and he's in the right place at the right time. So
box in the box.
Yeah, well, look at you see how he goes, but as long as he keeps it going.
Shamrock's boys here, Ryan. Beside you, is there sitting in the long grass, Ryan, waiting for him?
That's because Sean Miller won't put the grass up there. The lawnmower broke, isn't it, right?
Well, you could say that. But at the moment, we're taking every game as it comes. Like, as you see, we played through. Thank God we won all 3. Like, but the plan this week is to get the All Blacks game. I think this is the 4th or 5th time that it's either been cancelled or something like that. You know yourselves. Yeah, just...
No, I didn't. I tell you, it was Ryan was cute enough. Dara Harris got injured, and I don't think they played a game between that and the time. So he's back now. So they have him back. So.
2 weeks ago now we had a game against Kilmore. Now I think it was about a month ago, but I think that was our first game in about 2 months. Like first game we had was first week of September, second week, and
It
then
must be hard to try and get
Yeah,
a bit of
it's-
consistency as well. Like everybody wants to play, don't they? You actually want to be
like, it's
playing
hard to
week in,
keep
week
lads
out,
committed
so-
now from and keep them happy now from. But it's kind of helping as well with Tuesdays with like the youths and the 19s are trained together, so it's kind of like the 19s are helping each other out and trying to push each other on now, and so it's not too bad in that way. Like,
Is there way to All Blacks at the weekend? You full squad?
I think we have everybody. We're actually missing one or two. We're missing Dara Harris. Dara Harris won't be back until maybe January or February. Well, that's what he wants, but you need to proper see how it goes. And then Jack Byrne is just come back from an injury as well. But like apart from that, I think we should be a full strength. Like,
Yeah, we have Jamie there. Jamie, you're playing men's and youth. How do you find going from the Saturday to Sunday? You love it, or do you find it a bit of a struggle? Or
On the Monday now, I'd be sore enough. But no, it's good, so it is. And like, it's a big step up as well, coming in, playing against grown men. But with the youth, like, it's different, it's tough in that league as well. Like, we've only played 3 games, it's hard to stay consistent. And then with 19s, it's basically the same team we're playing with. So coming in week out, like, but we're actually going well, thank God. And yeah, the All Blacks. Now, we had them, the match got abandoned. Didn't end up too well.
do you include that?
It'll be all right this
Had
time.
not got to me, thank God.
Not this time.
Yeah.
But how are you finding it, Jamie? Like, you know, like I know you play with the county youths set up as well. Like, you know, so you're playing a lot of football this year. Would you go into some of the games feeling tired after playing Saturdays, rolling into Sundays, or are you just
Yeah, like with school as well. We were playing with school a lot as well.
going? Oh, I thought you were glad you said you were playing with the school.
No, we,
Every now it's studying in the school anyway.
no. School, and then you have Saturday, Sunday. Like, no, you wouldn't be too tired. You take a break out of training if you needed to, or you have time to step out. Like,
Yeah, so the lads
You know
looking
yourself,
after
like,
you that way. Like
yeah.
Ryan and Kane and John and Eddie are looking after you.
yeah, you know yourself. Like,
And Donald, the league table kind of suggests it's more or less between the two of you, or do you think Glenbarn will be still a shout? You know?
Oh, I can guarantee you there's more than All Blacks are waiting. I think the boys are waiting in the grass.
Yeah.
When you see All Blacks, they're not an easy team, and I know the boys know that from just played half a game against them. It was very tight in that game. So no, there's definitely All Blacks are definitely thereabouts as well. I can tell you that.
And the other fixture in that then is Rosslare Range is at home to Core Ramblers. We'll move on to Division 2. I don't have anyone here from Division 2, do we?
Skip then in.
Come on, are flying. I think they had a heavy defeat on Leinster last week, hadn't it? Yeah, I've seen that 10-2 or something. Won't say any more about it.
A lot of country clubs in that league actually, isn't there? When you see, look at Cormac's, Came, Tombrack, Bree. You know, it's good to see that they're able to field, should I say, under 18s in it. Like, you know, it stands their junior clubs in good state, because I know Cormac's are only after coming back into the league there this year into the men's section, and you look at Bree and Tombrack are both going quite well in their divisions.
Ferns
So
as
like
well, yeah.
obviously we touched on having the young lads. Ferns are going well, Camolan are going well, so like it obviously is a massive part of it to get young lads coming through. And you look at the facilities that the lads out there in Came are trying to do. In fairness, they've done a great job out there around the pitch. So it's good to see that effort is being put in.
Yeah, it's great to see teams like Cam, Tombrack, Bree, Ferns all putting in the effort. Have you seems I know myself this year, it's our first year, a long time having an IU team, and it's a worry when you look at the age profile of the first team and second team, and then you're thinking
These are bigger problems now than just worrying about the age.
we'll move on to Division 3. No, just the fixtures in Division 2 are
Cormac's and Tombrack.
Camolan and
Ferns. That'll be a bit of a derby game now.
Be a nice one, alright.
So yeah, so I know from kind of being a member of the county board, you get a lot more exciting reports out of a lot of the youth games than you do out of a lot of the men's referees reports.
We didn't think that. Now we thought we were all quiet.
Oh, let me tell you, isn't that?
Will Camolan be a surprise package for the cup?
Could very easily be, right? I don't think he could even, like, yes, Castle Locker have Castleknock have a really good side. They won the Aidan's Cup last year, so a lot of people are probably going, there's no reason why they can't go on and do it this year. But I don't think there's such thing as a favourite for a cup anymore. Like you seen it last year. Who would, if you had said at the start of last season, does anyone think Castleknock will go well? And just because they were walking the league, a lot of people are going, they were in the wrong league. They were too good. They won't be any good when they come up against say the Premier Division sides. But like say at North End, like we've two sides there at North End, they were B team, we're in Division 4, and I'm not just saying it because we're in a North End man, but I know our B team won't be afraid of any side if they pull a Premier side. They've a lot of really good footballers there. It's great to see. We could have put a third team into the youth division this year if we potentially say had an extra pitch. You know what I mean? We've 19 teams at the moment up there or something this year altogether. The B team there some nights have 30 lads training just with the B team alone, and then we'll probably have 18 tonight with the A team. So like, I'd say the lads who are in the lower divisions will be looking to be the giant killers 100%. I think I'd rather guess someone from the Premier, at least you know what you're coming up against. You've played them before. You've a bit of an idea.
It's always tougher, isn't it? I mean, when you get a team that in the league below, like it doesn't on the day, it's 11v11. One of the mottos I always had is like, we go out and we win 7 battles of 11, we have a great chance of winning the game. But sometimes it just comes down in the cup to them battling displays, isn't it? Because
in youths, lads, it depends on what sort of a crop you have on the year. Yeah. It's not like in the junior divisions where you're relegated and promoted. You know what I mean? It depends. Like Castleknock, they're just getting a good group every year. You get some teams, they'll win a youths cup or a youths league, and they're decimated the year after because they're all over age. That's not happening with Castleknock. They're lucky. You see, Rosslare Rangers commanded the youths league for years, North End did, but not anymore. Depends on the crop you have in that particular year.
You had a great run in it for a few years as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
So
mine were the
mine
same.
had a
especially when you're second year, your strongest year, Aidan, you know.
Yeah. You have them coming up underage when you're winning all the 14s, 16s up on just.
You don't always get 14s, 16s coming through after youth, you know. So it's the look of the draw then. You know.
We move on to Youth Division 3. We've Leonard's on top with 10 points, Adamstown 7, Campoyle 7, Clabon 6, Cushenstown 3, Duncannon 3, Timon 3. We have a Campoyle man here with us. Probably one of the closest looking divisions, in fairness.
Yeah, it's competitive. I think Youths Division 2 and 3 are kind of split north and south, so that's sort of the south version of that. And I suppose the good thing about it is every day you're playing as a bit of a derby, so fellas are going to school on Monday and they don't want to be listening to, you know, they're either in Ross or in Ramasgrange in school with each other, and
bragging rights.
You know, they don't want to be listening to any rubbish, I suppose. But no, it was the same last year. I mean, that Division 3 last year went to the last game of the season, and Campoyle were playing.
Could have went anywhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was 4 teams. There was 4 teams playing on the last day of the season, and the 4 of them could have. Any of the 4 of them could have won the league. And it ended up with Duncannon and Cork in a playoff. And Duncannon, it was actually played in Campoyle, and Duncannon won it with a late goal. So it was, you know, it was a very competitive league last year as well. But it's going to be the same this year. I mean, Leonard's our top. Us and Adamstown, we've a couple of games in hand. We were actually playing Adamstown on Saturday. Yeah. We were meant to play them last Saturday week, but we were over there and all, and the pitch was frozen. So, in fairness to Micheál Frankton, it was the right call. The pitch was frozen. You know, you couldn't play on it. So,
how big is the rivalry between yourselves and Leonard's on? Especially when how big is the rivalry between yourself and Leonard's when that game was on?
Big. That's big. No, I mean it's the that's the derby. You know, that's the, you know, we haven't played them yet. We still have to play them twice. So they're all. I mean, Campoyle and Duncannon, Campoyle, Cushenstown. You know, like there's 4 pitches there. Leonard's, Campoyle, Cushenstown, Duncannon. You could nearly throw a blanket over. You know, it's kind of. They're all, but even Timon, I mean, the first day of the season we played Timon and they were obviously missing a good few. We had an easy win, but the results since would suggest that result is a complete outlier. You know, they were, you know, they've won and they've been very competitive since. You know, so it's even the last day our game was called off there over in Adamstown. We called back because to Ballygallande or St Leonard's were playing Cushenstown, and it finished 3-1 to Leonard's. But you know, Cushenstown at 2-0 down had 3 or 4 great chances, like, and it could have went anyway. So every game is competitive. It's you know, it's good. And of course, then we got drawn away to Duncannon in the cup as well. So as if we didn't have enough derbies.
Would Leonard's let you use a new Astro down there at all? No.
I'd say they'd let us if we wanted, if we asked. Yeah,
it's a great facility.
Look, I mean,
it's
a great facility. I mean, look, and in fairness, Leonard's and Duncannon now have one as well.
Yeah,
so they're 2 super facilities. Like, you know, it's great to see clubs like that developing. You know, I mean, I don't know, with the amount of games that are being called off, I don't know, will every club eventually have to look at having some kind of an all-weather pitch, or just definitely more than needed? Because, I mean, having 3 league games played before Christmas, and
it's tough.
I don't know, even maybe, I don't know, is starting the youth leagues a month earlier an option? Because you don't really, I know the clash with the GA is kind of there, but like, there's not that many minor GA matches played in August.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, there might be a benefit to start the Youth League a month earlier. You don't have to start any other league, like, you know.
Well, I'd be a big advocate, say, of looking for the Astros, because I would be concerned myself about that age profile from the 17s to 22, 23-year-olds. Like, so where you're stuck to playing on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. These young lads are wanting to get out, they're wanting to go and enjoy their life. Well, obviously, you have to make a living somewhere or another. So, but like, you have to. I think the better chance, like, and I'm sure any of the younger lads can answer this. Like, they'd love to play a Thursday night or Friday night, Saturday evening. You know, that they can go and enjoy themselves then for the rest of the weekend. Would you, boys? Would you, Rob? Would you? Yeah. Much prefer to play on a Friday or Saturday night than play Saturday morning?
Yeah, it's a bit like Friday evening, like in the bed at 9 o'clock. It's not great.
You know where you in bed at 9 o'clock.
Most times.
I look at it. It's definitely the way forward. I think with to try and get, whether it's Astros or just get more floodlights with what's the new pitch to the, or kind of nearly full grass, but synthetic going through them. It's definitely something that we should try and push in the county.
And the fixtures. Yes, Nicky, I hear you. You were on the county board with it.
You were considered. You're more pull than I have. For a short while longer.
Yeah. You can get games called off. And the fixtures in that division are Cushenstown at home to Timon and Clabon at home to Duncannon, and then we go back to Brian there. You have the big one to get Armstown. You mentioned there earlier he's got a full squad for it.
Yeah, we have a couple of doubts, but we're definitely down. We're definitely down one. But other than that, we're actually training this evening there. So I got the short straw. I was sent down here. Look at this.
Is it a must-win game?
Again, the three games that are on this weekend, like in that division, the three of them could easily be draws. You know, it's very hard to call any sort of a game, and it's a bit like the boys were talking about. Depends on what kind of form your squad kind of turn up in, but in fairness to our lads now, they seem to be enjoying it, and we drew with Duncannon away in the league. They could have won it, we could have won it. We beat Clabon 5-3 at home as well. I mean, that's a game that could have went either way as well. So look, it's an important game for us and Adamstown. There's no doubt about that. But then, you know, Clabon and Duncannon, that's a big game for both of them as well. Clabon are definitely going to be thereabouts, and Duncannon will be as well, I'd imagine. You know, it's very hard to say.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a real tight. There's a couple of divisions like that in the men's as well, isn't it? You know, there's no runaway winner or league looks like at the minute. Maybe bar Division 5.
The big question everyone wants to know is Nicky welcome in Camp Hyle after calling us all cavemen? Is Nicky welcome in Camp Hyle after calling you all cavemen a couple of weeks ago?
He'll know the next time he comes down.
I'll actually be down there over the weekend. I will. I'll be passing through. So I'll put a helmet on when I'm going through. So.
And in general, then, how's the club going down in Camp Hyle? It's always a club I admire, I have to say. Always had to produce teams at underage level, and you'd think maybe for a country team that
Look at. I mean, we're back up in Premier this year, and I suppose it's a bit of a struggle, but they're not too far away. You know, they're on the verge of having a couple of good results. They were 2-1 up, a late goal at home to Ajax. That was a blow. 3 points there would have been massive. And look, there's a couple of the youths involved with the first team, and then we would have lost 3 of the team that won Division 1 last year, or would have gone to America to play soccer. Like Ryan Rowe, Neil Ennis, Matt Foley. For a club in an area like ours, that's a big hit to lose 3 players like that.
That is for any club, really. But especially down around your area, as you said, there's so many teams so close by. It's tough to lose.
Yeah. No, look, and the B team are in 4A, and I think they have 10 points. They started well, and they're actually Ross Celtic are top of that 4A, and they had only dropped 9 points, and 6 of them had been to Camp Hyle, so they bet Ross Celtic twice. But they've picked up very few points other than that. But I mean, it's the facilities are brilliant. I mean, the pitch down there, sure, is it's as good a pitch as you'll find in the county, like, and
stand and all down there, it's lovely.
Yeah. So and they're always looking for things to develop, and it's a lot of people do a lot of good work down there. The likes of Anthony Rowe, John Banville, Mick Maiden, fellas like that, and every club needs people like that,
Yeah. Move on to Youth Division 4. I think this division, Nicky, really shows how strong youth soccer is in the county when you see 7 of the 8 teams are second teams on it.
Yeah, I think at the start of the year, Park telling me that could have been a 10-team division. There was a couple pulled out at the last, but there were also B teams. But look, sure, it's great to see that there's that many young lads committing to play, and not only that, it's great for the volunteers, because, as we said, that youth level is it's vital vein, shall we say, for Wexford soccer, Wexford football, whatever you want to call it, for the Sunday League teams. So for them lads to be putting in the effort, turning out teams, getting teams to turn up every second Saturday, it's fabulous, and fair play to them all.
Yeah, we'll just run down through there. We've Gorey Celtic B on top with 13, and Gorey Rangers B, Gameless on 13, Glenbarnton B on 9, Norden B on 8, Killarney, the only first team in it, on 7, Wexford Albion seconds on 7, Coretown seconds on 6, and Curracloe on 3. So, great bit of rivalry in Gorey in this one, man.
Yeah, look, our second team's very strong this year. We've had Davey over second team's been nice enough now to give us a lend to some of the lads when we need them, and in fairness to the lads that we have taken from the second team, they've played really big parts in some of our games. Even there on Friday night, we had 2 lads from the second team, and they really put it in for us. So I think it shows as well how strong the 16s team in the club is as well, because obviously the B team are using a lot of 16s players. We're using the 16s as well, so it's good looking forward to next year that we have them to come in as well. So it's all going well for us so far.
All the teams here, the clubs that have the 2 teams, do you just train together as one, or would you be 2 separate?
Now we're the Astro up in Gorey is not the biggest now, so the lads train after us, because if there was 2 together now, you'd have 36 lads in a small enough Astra, so it wouldn't be feasible at all.
Yeah, and Gorey Celtic lads, how do you feel about Gorey Rangers being a big rivalry in this one for you?
Want to beat
I'd
them
say they
anyway,
feel
no, that's for
alright
sure.
at the minute. They're on top of the minute.
For sure. It's the first game of the season we were playing Rangers, and I think just on the day we ended up winning, but it was very close, fair. It was 0-0 first during the game, and Rangers could have 3 sitters and they missed them, and we were lucky, and then 1 minute later we scored one, and then it kind of just went on from there. And then when we played them there last week, they won that game, and they got early goals, and just kind of went from there really. But the table, as you can see, it's very close, especially North End with games in hand. anything could really happen. And then for the fixtures that are coming down, we're playing Albion. But then again, Albion have games in hand as well. Like, kind of, you don't really know who's going to win it or who's not.
Yeah.
And Adam, North End, would you train as one group, or is it two separate groups as well, just with numbers wise, like the Go Rangers? Like
yeah, no, we'd be the same. Like, we have obviously the couple of Astros in North End, but we still train separately. It'll just, as big as our larger Astro is, our A team, say, would have 18, and the B team on any night could have 25 turn ups. So it's just not feasible. Even I think from, if you're wanting to compete on both levels with the A and B, you're obviously, the A team are working on, could be working on one set of tactics one day. The B team manager, Keith Robinson, who's doing an amazing job with the lads. There was him and Hahn in the club, I suppose, at the start of the season. There's pitch-wise and facility-wise, do we have enough pitches and facilities to be able to do it? But like, the way we looked at it and we talked about it a lot at the start of the year is that B team is a really, really young team, and realistically that B team is your A team for next year. Sure. So if you don't have a B team this year,
they're not getting game time.
They're not getting game times. Just say they go off to your local club, so they go to maybe your Wexford Albion or Wexford Celtics. You're not guaranteed to get them lads back next year, do you know what I mean? And it'd be heartbreaking to see those lads who've maybe spent their, I suppose, since they're under sevens or eights, you know what I mean? Yeah. Going away from the club. So it was massive for us to have a B team, and we were delighted when Keith came in and said that he'd take over his own young fella. Jack is there, and it's a very, very young team. And like last
they're not out of it either, in fairness, are they?
No, they're not. They're far from out of it, and they've had some really good games. They've got to a couple of them. In fairness, there've been some really good battles, and like lads from Gory Rangers said, like we've had a couple of lads from the B team step up with us. Like we could easily take probably 5 from that B team and put them into our first team, and they wouldn't look out of place whatsoever. Especially when it comes to the cup, you know what I mean? And you'd be sort of saying, right, what way are you going to break down squads there? We could easily take lads in, or even the Leinster Cup there, we've had lads step up. And the same way as well, as it's nice to be able to do it. You start to say to your lads on the first team, look, well, these lads in the B team are chomping at the bit to take your spot in the A team. And if they're not playing well, and sometimes maybe a striker, for instance, doesn't find a bit of form, and you could have a lad there at the B team who's absolutely flying, you maybe swap them around for a couple of weeks and give the lads a little bit of a drive and determination again. But especially for the lads in the A team, they know of 20 lads that are behind them who are wanting their spots.
Driving on. Robbie, you have 2 youth teams as well. That's something new for Corklow, is it? Have 2 youth teams, Robbie?
Yeah, no, this is our second year now in a row that we've had 2 youth teams. We were very, actually, towards the start of last year, we had a lot of lads say that we had enough just for the first team and just kind of on the fringes. And then, in fairness, Sparky, myself and Butch Barry went out and just kind of got lads who hadn't been playing in a while, and they all started coming back in dribs and drabs. And Porrig in the league were very lucky to let us in as a bit of a late entry into Division 4, but like we've been very lucky this year as well to continue on with having that numbers there, and like the lads alluded to, that it's great to be able to have a number of players. Like we're getting, like we train as one collective team, and I know other teams are separate, like maybe Reen can jump in here, but from our perspective as a management team, like we kind of want to work as one. We don't see the A and B, and we want to bring lads through, and we've had lads that have stepped up for, in from the B team to the A team, lads who've dropped down, and like we found it to be a good cohesion as well, like, and the lads kind of gel a little bit more over it as well. But like apart from, obviously I know the league table doesn't look well. Like the first day the lads went out, obviously they got a bit of a hammering by North End because it was a bit of an outlier, but we'll argue maybe they had a few of their 18 players out that day as well. But apart from that,
he didn't know what he hadn't got a clue.
But like apart from that, like the lads have been very good. Like they've I know they've lost a few games, they've won only one, like, but the games they've lost have only been a goal or whatever in between them. Like, but for me, I definitely find like having the 2 youth teams train together, and like Green can jump in here, but I think it's far better to have it, and it just, lads who are at a certain level, it brings the rest up to hit that bar too. Like, and guess lads shot at the bit that want to get into that team, like, so.
And having 2 youth teams as well will help the club want to move forward. Facilities wise, you're probably easily a Premier club, but playing wise at the first team, you want to be getting back up there. This will help you get back there. You had a few bad years of the men's.
Yeah, 2 lean years.
Thanks, Nicky. Yeah. Well, Aidan's on the naughty list now, you could say. Look, we've gone through a bit of a transition, unfortunately. But look, it's like everything goes through it. Like, unfortunately, I'm at the other side of the bracket now, like where I was the young pup with the likes of Regan and all. I was been integrated into the first teams and into the B teams with a few other youths. Like, so that's the whole idea. Like, I'm at I'm only the kind of the gatekeeper for the jersey, along with a few other lads that would have played here like for a long while. So I think like in our own men's division this year, like we've got a very young team. Like there's a lot of youths that would have come in there, a few have come back. Like, and it's worrying when you're kind of looking at myself and Mark O'Connor that we're kind of nearly the 2 oldest on the team at 31 years of age. Like, so 32 as well. So you're kind of looking at that, and then you're looking at the next nearest to you is 26 and down. Like, so it's, you know, it's a lot and positive for the future to build on. But if we can stabilise, like
them guys need you lads as well, you know. Like,
well,
so.
Reen might argue.
Let him in there. Do you need him or not, Reen?
Well, Robbie's taking my position, so the sooner he goes, the better. I know, but yeah, we would need him. Like, even tonight, we do be training with the men's just to get in the experience and get in the different physicality, you know, like that you need when you step up, and you do need that to learn to, you know, build up. And that is the end goal. Like, after youths, you will be playing men's for years and years, hopefully, as long as you don't get injured.
That has to be, for me. I remember kind of coming through Shamrock Rovers. I never, I ended up picking injuring myself, but I never really got through. But the big thing for me was even just managing Shamrock Rovers first team. That when you're coming through at that level, you should always aspire to just obviously be the best you can. Not everybody can go on to League of Ireland or over to England, so the best you can be, because we're very, very lucky in Wexford with the facilities throughout the county, but we're also one of the strongest leagues in Ireland in junior football, and we're the second biggest league in the country. So, like, to be playing with your first team and competing in that Premier, you're actually playing at a very, very high standard, and that's where I think every young lad should be aiming to try and be, because I know the effort and the commitment that goes into the first teams nowadays. Like, you look at your North Ends, your Gories, like Shamrock Rovers as well, and the Mine for years there, like, they're known all over the country, you know, but that's coming from the level of commitment and that the lads have put in.
You have a big derby at the weekend in this division, away to Killarney. A big derby for you?
No, not really.
Sorry.
Just because they're on the coast.
I'm in geography. Could have said yeah.
Rock constituency.
Corey Celtic's home to Wexford Albion. He's looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We haven't played them yet, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the game, so it should be good.
And then we've Galway Rangers at home to Glenbarntown and North End home to Courtown. You taking any players this Saturday after beating?
I tell you, if you give me about half an hour during Delhi Cardi, there's up there taking the first team, I'll be able to update you. But no, look, we've had lads coming in and out, you know what I mean? There's just going to be weeks, especially like lads at this age as well, they're working part-time jobs, and depending on maybe what time kickoffs are, you might have a lad who's working, and could have lads who are away on holidays. And look, in fairness with the B team there, as I said, they have massive numbers, and in fairness to Keith, he could turn around if he wanted and say, right, you know what, I'm just picking the same 15 who will be strongest 15 every week. But he's done a great job, in fairness, and I don't envy him now. He's done a great job sort of making sure everyone gets game time, do you know what I mean? Because I think it's a really important age group, I suppose, of feeding lads maybe into a first team, but it's a really important age group to lads where lads are on the borderline there of, are they going to keep playing soccer and move into men's soccer, or keep playing 18 soccer, or are they maybe going to rather have their few pints on a Saturday night in the pub, do you know what I mean? So to keep lads interested, you know.
Yeah, look, that's a look through all the divisions. Willie, I just want to ask you a question or two there. You're a legend of the game. You've many a battle with yourself on the youth field. How do you think youth soccer has changed over the years? You see much change in it?
It's a tough one, yeah. See, young lads have that much going for them now. Like, you know, years ago, when I was over youths and under 16s and all, I used to go up to the brother school, give them all a note coming out. Now there's WhatsApps and everything, like, you know.
You get in trouble if you went to the school.
And every one of them, I had a big panels, and I was lucky. I had massive teams, honest to God. I could have wrote out the teams and gave it to the captain, and the still would have won. You know what I mean? I had that good a team. So I had 10 players one time around Nick Wallace's squad. You know what I mean? But it has changed. Yeah, it was the Dempseys and Nobby, Carney and all them. Yeah. But it's changed, and young lads can walk away from football now like they used to years ago. I had lads years ago, and they'd stick with it through thick and thin. They'd come up, I'd have 16, and I'd never change a team unless I had to. I said, don't fix something unless it's broken. And I'd have them 5 subs every week, and they'd turn up every week. But now, if you discommode young lads now, they're gone. Yeah, not them all now. Don't get me wrong, not them all. But if you discommode someone and leave them off a couple of times, and then you've clicks on WhatsApp and you get a sort of a rift into a team. It's totally different in my opinion. And there's some good lads coming through, and they're aspiring to be playing with Wexford youths and that like. And then when they come back from Wexford youths, some of them are not the same player at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I definitely see
It's
that through the
definitely
years as well.
changed. So everything has changed. Like young lads have different attitudes now. They're more upfront as well. Like, you know. And there's another thing comes into it as well. Respect. Young lads today, it's the culture we're living in now. They don't have as much respect for grown-ups as they did years ago. You know what I mean? I'd be talking to teams now, and I know some lads will be looking at you. They'd be saying, "What's that old? What's he talking about?" You know. But
I think that's a County thing, though.
I don't have no Castlereagh. But the standard is a lot higher and quicker, you know, that sort of way it is. I have to say.
If you had the same attitude and commitment as years ago,
yes,
you'd have a savage you'd have a savage league nowadays.
But the leagues are great. The only gripe I have with the league is no criticism, is that the fixtures will have to be looked at. I mean, we're 4 months into the season now in youths. We played 4 games. And we'll come along now in April, late April, and you could have 5 games left, which to me is wrong. Yeah. And then you don't get a true reflection on league champions or whatever, because if you have a team on top, we say in Enniscorthy or Gorey, and there's a team halfway down, they're neither going down the bottom or up. It's the reflection on the results. You know, teams don't turn up when you have to play in the evenings, lads. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. If there's nothing
to play travel in the squad, you're not going to get a full team if a team is not in contention.
And you have lads probably doing the leaving cert as well. So
yeah, exactly. And then there's the GAA. I'm not knocking GAA. I played it myself. But there's young lads now. They're on school teams. They're playing minor football. You know what I mean? They're training and playing maybe 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And it's too much.
It's probably, and I suppose it's a completely different show, but the likes of the GA, rugby and soccer codes, like I often said, like we're all trying to use from the same group of players.
Yeah.
So why would we all try and flog a dead donkey?
Yes,
you know,
and if you have an honest...
now where we all have to sit down and player burnout and young lads, because we're the ones that are turning them off the games.
Yes.
By trying to, if everybody's being selfish and everybody's trying to say, here, I want you to do this, you to do that, no manager should ever say it to a young lad, especially up until 18, if he's playing with a club at our level, fine if he's gone on to a professional level or something like that, but no club manager should ever say to a young lad, you can't do this, you can't do that. Let each young lad manage themselves. That's what I think.
I think you're right there, because our job, the way I look at it is to bring young lads up. They're not all going to be playing with Wexford Youths or Waterford United or whatever. Bring them up and try to get them that they can hold their own and keep them in the game, that they'll make decent junior footballs out of them, because most of the players, 90% of the players, 95%, that's where they're ending up, playing junior football in Wexford.
I think Adam hit there to find that balance of trying to compete at youth level at the top and then trying to make sure that all of them are playing. I think it's 2016 we won the Youth Cup. I think we came second in the Premier. Out of a panel of 15, 16, there's actually none of them playing soccer now.
It's true, sir. Bunclody won, I think they won a Leinster Youths Cup. It must be 12 or 15 years ago. And a couple of years after, there was only one of them playing in Bunclody. You know what I mean? Like,
it is tough to get them to come through, isn't it? It's that.
It is,
It is. It's
and
every club, because
if you have a young lad, Nicky, sorry for interrupting you. If you have young lads and they're honest players and they're giving 100% every time they go out and they're playing 2 disciplines and maybe playing 2, 3 matches, 4 matches a week, that can't last. No. It cannot last. That's why they're coming up, young lads are coming up of a Saturday morning and they're dewy-eyed, because they're spent, they're stale. They're playing too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I might bring Jamie in here, because Nicky knows Jamie very well, and I know he's fairly talented at all sports. How do you find it come that time of season, Jamie, when you're going to be pulled for the hurling football at both county levels as well as club? Is it hard for you, mentally even, just to make them decisions?
Like, we're coming to the age now where it's going to be hard to please everybody, but you have to make the decisions yourself. And as Nicky said there a second ago, like, there's could be 3 or 4 different managers wanting you. They have to sit down and decide themselves. But at the end of the day, like Nicky said, it's coming to the chap that's going to be tired. Like, managers should be helping. Like I said a few minutes ago with the lads there, like if they realise I'm doing too much, they'll tell me to take a little while out of training or take a night off. But then, like,
you don't want to let anybody down.
You don't want to let anybody. It's hard to say no to people.
Friends on both courts.
It's hard to say no to people.
The pressure coming from both sides.
Yeah, it is the pressure. And look I don't think any of us we all get a bit selfish when we put that manager's hat on. You want what's best for you and what's the best. So, but I suppose we have to realise that a lot of these young lads' bodies are only developing as well. So it's extremely tough on them.
The country clubs, do you find it hard to get the turnover when they're finished youths to keep them in the club, or is it?
I don't think the difficulty is keeping them in the club. It just gets very difficult, say, at the start of a season and the end of a season when the crossover happens between, the GA and soccer. But just on what Denny was saying there about a load of games at the end of the season, what I've seen happen in the last few years in underage soccer is it's not that the fixtures are even dead rubbers. It's actually clubs are just saying we're not going to play any more games. It doesn't, doesn't matter. Like we can't go anywhere. We can't be, and you end up with a team pulling out of the league, and then the whole thing gets skewed. I don't know what the solution is, but what's actually happening is clubs are withdrawn because they just haven't time to play or the last games, and they don't mean anything. So
so
that's
maybe it is something that it could be looked at with the likes of the league, trying to start something a little bit earlier, especially for the under 18s. Like, what's to stop it starting in August and finishing in March? And allowing them, any lad then, to go on and do their leaving certs and do whatever.
Yeah, because
I'm not sure if they did they?
3 youth games.
Oh yes, that's that. Yeah.
Consecutive youth games. It didn't help. It still ended up the same.
The other thing as well, lads, and I'm sure it's the same in most of the clubs. Maybe not as much with the boys because North End are fairly strong, but we're feeding the A team. You said there's 3 of your lads in. He's in goal for the first team now.
Very quiet there this evening.
He's asleep. He didn't get his sleep after. And I'm trying to get Darney involved as well because they need to be going up to the next level. And the other thing of that, what we've done it the last 2 or 3 years, is we'd sit down with the first team manager and say, well, what systems are you playing? Because there's no point in me playing 4-5-1 and they're playing 4-3-3 and then the boys are not used to this system. So, they need to know the system. So I'm asking John, well, what system are you playing? Because obviously I'm going to be feeding you. So, and it's a key part because you need to be, blending them in straight and you need them in early.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the things with my own club, Shamrock Rovers, this year. I was lucky. I'm not a member, but still a club. But I was lucky enough to give Jamie his debut last year, and there's a lot of the younger lads coming through. Here, Rob is up training with the lads now the last couple of weeks. So, you need youth, and you need them younger youth lads to learn. I've often said it, 18 to 22, you're only learning the game. 22 to 28, 30, you're at your peak. And then if you're 30 years of age, you should be able to play any position in the pitch because you've the experience. Is that right, Robbie? But you definitely, and that's one of the positives and I'm delighted Ken is doing it, and he's trusted the young lads with Rovers this year that they're coming through. They might not compete at the top of the table for the next year, 2 years, but the future going through, they will definitely come back strong again. And it's about keeping them young lads coming in. You won't get a team of 11 through, will you? You'd be lucky to get 2 or 3 off of every youth team, wouldn't you?
I think it'll be more for the country clubs. Definitely for us. We'd be definitely looking for 5, 6. We've between the A team and the B team, we have about 6 or 7 of them involved. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant, isn't it? I know Camp Highland young as well. Yeah.
Between the A and the B team, I'd say there could be 7 or 8 youths out every weekend.
Is that your young lad playing left back with
the A team? Well, yeah,
he was on the B team against Kane.
He plays a bit with both.
He's lovely.
He left back with the B team there. and Brad has him in around the A team for a bit of experience. And look at Mikey's doing a bit of training there now as well, so it's all good to have, you know.
Mikey's getting very comfortable in Wexford the last couple of weeks, isn't he?
There might be breaking news.
We won't say that, we're not allowed to say.
No, out of hands, Anthony Rono will have a big say.
I think any young lad should be aspiring, I suppose, isn't it? If you see your youths there that are saying to themselves, well, this is my last year of youth soccer. And I know you have 19s, but I suppose the 19s league is pretty small. Not every club, I suppose, have a 19s team either. But like, you should be aspiring to be in there, and you should be looking at, for North End lads, they're looking at like Paul Murphy and your Gary Delaney's, who started saying like them lads, not that they're coming towards the end of their time, like, but they're mid-30s now, do you know what I mean? No, but like, they're mid-30s, so you're looking for these lads who are 17, 18 to start stepping up. And I suppose we've been blessed at North End. Like, I think this year so far we've had one under 18 maybe only into the first team squad, but that's only because of the strength, the depth and the numbers we have. And the B team is the same, sort of. McFarlane's over the B team, and he has some of the lads from the 19s, especially in training, but he's trying to play the lads who don't get a game on 19s. You know what I mean? At the mind, they're trying to give them games, but you can see it there. Like Denny Carty, in fairness, there has done it now the last couple of weeks, especially with the Oscar Trainer games. And so we've a few lads with the Oscar Trainer, so maybe the first team could be training the next night. So he's taking 5 lads from the youth squad and bringing them in and starting to.
Well, it can be a little bit tough. I'm sure you vouch for it as well when you're managing at the top. Like, and you'd see the Gorey Rangers, the North Ends, and the Ross Celtic team of 10 years ago. Like, when they're competing at the top, sometimes it's that little bit more difficult to bring the young lads into it, you know, like, so they have to bide the time at times, and that's where I think the bigger clubs kind of might have a more of a fall off of the younger players coming through.
The harder part is if you have would have happened with me and would said Gorey and Ardenne have been similar over the years, and Shamrocks as well. At one time, I would imagine when you have a really good youth team that are winning, and then your A team is full of 26, 24-year-olds and are competing, that's hard. Then where do you do? We had at one stage, I think we'd won a youth double, and the A team were in cup finals and competing second, third in the Premier, and there were lads coming up were looking, where are we going to go?
Yeah,
You know?
that can
and
be
some
tough.
lads will stay in the club to play B team, but others will want to go across to Nicky and other places.
But it's the same, you can see there.
He's getting married to my sister, watch him over. He went back and you're not playing him. You think you can't get a game now?
The North End first team, even there, like a lot of lads were saying, oh, North End's first team are age, and you know what I mean? There's a lot of lads maybe looking to finish up in a season or two, but like you look at North End's team that they put out against mine 2 weeks ago. I think the average age of the squad was 22, which was great to see. It hasn't happened in a long time. North End have some good, like, it's great to see.
He always liked the old fellas, didn't he?
North End will always get an influx of players every year. You know what I mean? And if you're a young lad there, we just say you're 18, you have to be good and you have to be dedicated to get into that team, because, you know, if you're looking at that team, it's exceptional, isn't it? You look at the panel they have, they're an unbelievable team. So it's a tough team to get into for a young lad. He has to be exceptional to get into it, an exceptional young lad.
I presume it's the same for you lads up in Gorey. Everybody's obviously it's a little bit different for the Celtic lads that the miniatures are playing catch up on Rangers, but it's not too long ago that Richie Reardon had you guys in the Premier and you were competing as well, so you're looking at big rivalry there between the two of you.
Yeah, we're lucky in Gore. We've actually 3 men's teams now, and we actually nearly had a 4th at the start this year. Very close. So there is a bit more scope for the young lads to come in and play with the third team, because I know it's just you have to be exceptional to go onto that first team. But we have our goalkeeper plays with the second team, so that's a big enough step up as well. And a few lads from the team last year playing with the third team, some are playing with the second team. So it's nice to see them stay with the club rather than go to Celtic or Courtown. No offence.
Have you a few lads breaking through into the first team?
We've had a couple in and around, mainly last year when obviously the first team got relegated and lads just weren't really bothered showing up. I think by the end of the year, the whole first team was made up of the 19s of that year and 4 or 5 of our youths. Now this year, most of the youths, like we've had about, I think 3 or 4 have come up. Frankie here is playing with the second team week in, week out.
He's going to win the league, Frankie?
What?
He's going to win the Division 5.
But we'd be looking like mainly for them. Like me and Frankie sat down and had a talk about it. Like he's obviously he can get into that first team, but he wants to play as much football as possible. So he wants 90 minutes week in, week out. So that's why he's gone down to the second team. We've had a couple of other lads on the bench for the first team, but most of that first year now this year is actually you've got a couple of old lads, but then it's a really young team. You've got the 19s, there's about 6 of them from last year have stepped up because obviously the 19s managers have taken over. So you've got 6 or 7 of them have stepped up from the 19s into the team, and then you've got a couple of lads like the old guard, like John Kavanagh and Kenneth Byrne, all that's still around there. But it's actually a really young squad, and the same with the second team. Like the average age, I'd say I think there's 2 lads over the age of 30. You've got Gary Messer, who's got the caps for Ireland, and Kyle Coates, 2 or 3. Oh, look, that's just happening. That's happened a couple of times. He's given out to me that I haven't sent in all his free kicks he's scored for them and all. Gavin Dare scored the screamer against Camole, it was, so like they are competing, and you can see it, like they are, and it's just now about getting that right balance and when they step up and all, because obviously like the lads that have part-time jobs, etc. So we could have had at the start of the season probably had entered in a third team, but at this stage now of the season we probably start struggling for numbers, lads dying off, disappearing off, and midnight stuff.
And what about you, Ryan? A bit of a sticky one for you now. I know you play on Rovers B team, so do you want them young lads coming up, or do you tell Podge that they're not good enough?
As I said, like even the underage and the adults now finish youth scene, like it's been like we all had the success issue with the manager and everything and all that, but like even the underage system, I was kind of struggling for years now. But this year, if you look at the underage, it's like youths are competing, 19s are competing, 16s are top of league, but they have Gory Rangers to compete with. Same with the 15s, 14s. It's just nice to see. It's like at the moment for our youths, it's kind of like the other day, like last night, there was about 25, 26, and then 7 or 8 of them stayed back to actually train with the men. So it's great to see. Like, you know what I mean?
Good. It is good.
Yeah, well, we've finished up there now, man. I just want to thank us all for coming in. It's been great to chat up and find out what's going on in the youths. And as I said at the start, it's important for the league that we have a strong youth league, and I think having 5 divisions in Wexford in the youth shows how strong as it is. So just want to thank you all and hope you enjoyed it.
Cheers, man.
I just want to ask you one question. Are they breaking this year for... No, I don't need that.
Might sing a song at the end of it.
Are they breaking for Christmas?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they're breaking from this weekend now. It'll be the last game before Christmas. And then I think they come back, the 6th, is it? Yeah, the 6th of January, I think they're looking at coming back.
Because I think everyone is term mad to play games.
Well, if you contact Parkway, he will fix games. That is for sure.
I'll tell Jeremy.
Thank you all again for coming in. And
thanks very much, guys. But
just let everyone know that next week myself and Nicky are going to be joined from various managers from the divisions to review the season so far. So, bye everyone.
cheers, man.